So many times in this world, we think that our life is over because of a certain time in our life. And then we start living like that. We start operating like that with our life. And every single day becomes a struggle. We just going through the motions. Like, you got to tell yourself that your best is still available. Every single day I wake up, you know what I say? Every single day I wake up, I say, man, today's going to be my best day. Because any day that I have another chance at life, it's my best day. And I know that seems super optimistic, but that's what we have to feed our soul, man. The meanings you give to things control everything in your life. And some of you have been given some poor meanings, and that's why you're living a unfulfilled life. You got to change and start there, and that's something that's in your control. No matter what's happening, no matter what you're experiencing, no matter what's going on in your life, you got to tell yourself that there's more to my life. Every single day you wake up, today's going to be my best day. I'm going to be my best self. That doesn't mean perfect. It doesn't mean everything goes the way you want it to go. But you honor the gift that you've been given, which is a new day. And that's what you need. Your best is ahead of you. Your best you haven't even experienced yet. You might have some great times. You might have some great times in your life. You might have some great things in your life. But I'm telling you right now, yes, sir. I'm telling you right now, your best life is ahead of you. And you have to believe that. All right, you got to believe that. This is what I want to share with y'all today. Everybody that's coming in, watch the replay because I don't have long out here. I want to share this with you today. So, I said this quote yesterday, and if you're feeling hopeless, I hope this gives you some hope in your heart. That if we're going to thank God for the open doors in our life, aka the things that go our way, the things that go as planned, the great moments in our life, right? The things we pray for get answered. If we're going to praise God for the open doors in our life, then we must, and I want you to understand me here, this is very major to a breakthrough in your life, then you must thank God for the closed doors in your life. The closed doors are the things that don't go your way. The closed doors are the things that you want, but you don't receive. The closed doors is something happening to your life that's unfavorable, that sucks. It's the storm that comes, right? The things that you plan don't go as planned, those closed doors. And a lot of us, we complain about the closed doors. A lot of us, we get upset about the closed doors, but I guarantee you right now, if you look over your life, I promise you, you have one closed door that led you to something greater in your life. I know I have. I've had plenty. The doors that I wanted to keep open that closed, I realized that that closed door was the greatest gift that God has given me. Excuse me for the when I'm out here in nature. And for some of you, you're experiencing a lot of closed doors. And sometimes, listen, it's our fault, right? Sometimes we put ourselves through things. We got to take ownership. But sometimes the closed door is for your protection, because everything is working for your good. I want you to understand that everything is working for your good. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. A perfect example. So I'm on this trail, right? And the normal trail that I run, I'm feeling great out here. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get a good run today. It feels good out here in Texas. And it's been raining a lot in Texas. Rain a lot. So I get to this area in my run, and what's normally the trail is now turned into a mini lake. It's flooded. I mean, it is deep too. It's not something you can just walk through. It's deep. And so I said, dang, man, like, I'm excited about my run. I'm feeling back in shape. My body feels good. I was telling myself it's going to be my best run. I needed this run. And I come to an obstacle. And for about 2 minutes, I was so focused on the obstacle, so focused on the closed door, that I became like angry. I'm like, man, I could have stayed at home. And I was forgetting that, one, I won the day by doing something with my life, moving my body, whether it ended at that moment or not. And then two, I realized in that moment that, wait a minute, just because this way is closed and blocked, don't mean there's not another way. And I changed my focus. I was so focused on the closed road. I was so focused on the blockage in the trail. I was so focused on the closed door that I started to get upset. It started to make my good day turn into a bad day. And a lot of us, we experience that, right? Maybe it's a relationship. You've been heading down this way, this road in your relationship, and everything's going right, and all of a sudden, boom, something happens. Maybe it's your job. It's been going great. You're loving it, then boom, something happens. You've been working on your business, and the plan has been going great, then boom, an unexpected thing happens. And what a lot of us do, because we're human, we start to focus on, man, why is this closed door closed? I mean, why is this door closing? Excuse me. Why does this blockage have to happen? So the reason I'm sharing that with you, because what happened was, as I changed my focus and I remembered there's probably a different trail. To make this long story short, I found a new trail. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think the new trail is going to be my main trail now, because it was beautiful. Flowers. I loved the trail. I loved the run. And it made me realize, like, oh, life. Certain doors have to close so you can find a better door. And what I also realized in the trail, that guess what? This other trail led to the same destination, right? It wasn't my normal way, but it led to the same destination. And actually, I found a better way. I found a better way. So how does this pertain to your life? That closed door is purposeful. That closed door is powerful. That closed door often leads you to something better for your life. It maybe leads you to a different place. Maybe it leads you to the same place. But it leads you to something better for your life. So I want to give you that message today, y'all. And I want you to hold on to that message, because I know sometimes you feel hopeless. Sometimes you feel like, man, everything I'm doing is going wrong. Everything I'm doing, nothing's working out. I have all these closed doors. But don't let the closed door. It's kind of like a salesman. I had a salesman come to my house, and I admired that. Hold on, man. I admired that salesman, because that salesman, he would come to my house. I wouldn't answer the door. I'm like, oh, I ain't trying to get no pest control, none of that. You know what I'm talking about? Those. But I admired them because it was a closed door. Nobody answering. I'm looking at him through my Ring doorbell. I'm like, I ain't answering that. But he didn't quit. He just went to the next house. And then he came back the next week, and he kept coming back. So the time I actually opened the door, and ended up being, honestly, a rehabber. Somebody that knew me, they didn't know I lived there, but once they saw my face, they were like, oh, snaps, you're Trent Shelton. And we talked, and he's now my pest control guy. But the reason I say that is because, and I'm not telling you to spam life and just keep, running your head against a brick wall. You got to use discernment. But I'm telling you that because what's cool is, just like that guy didn't give up at that closed door, he kept coming back. Sometimes you got to keep coming back, right? Sometimes that closed door eventually will open. Sometimes it's meant for you to go to the next house. You got to use discernment. You got to pray about that. But he kept coming back, and at some point that door opened for him. And I share that with you because that's your life, right? You got to keep coming back. And what I want you to keep coming back to, not necessarily a person or a thing or a situation. I want you to keep coming back to your power. I want you to keep coming back to your best life. That's what I want. I want you to keep coming back to your best life. I want you to keep coming back to this truth every single day. That I'm going to show up and do my part. I'm not going to give up on my best life. I'm not going to throw in the towel, because when you throw in the towel, you will live a life that you don't deserve to live. I promise you that. Right? Keep your habits simple. Trust God. Keep your habits simple. Some of us, we're not moving anywhere because we have too much complexity in our life. Complexity is the enemy to consistency. Somebody write that in the chat. Complexity is the enemy to consistency. Right? You're never going to be consistent when it's complex. Some of you got to simplify your process of life and say, you know what? If I want to take a journey of 1,000 miles, then let me just take a step. Let me just focus on a step. I'm not going to focus on running. I'm not going to focus on all these things. I'm going to focus on just taking a step. And I can tell you that's true, because what I realized today, I've been disciplined for the last probably 3-4 weeks. In my running self, like, I love to run, as y'all know. I wanted to run, but my body wasn't right. I was a little bit heavier, had some imbalances in my body, and I kept breaking down in my run. But my stubborn self was like, man, I'm going to run. And then some said, man, just enjoy the journey, right? If you want to run, but it's not going to get you further. What if you walked and you can actually walk further than you ran, and which started to happen? I couldn't keep a run for 20 minutes, but I could walk for an hour. I said, walk on the incline. So I started to walk on a normal path, 0 incline. And I'm telling y'all this because maybe somebody needs it. I just started to walk, right? No incline, a moderate speed, just to prove to myself and my body I can take the journey. Then over time, as I prioritize my health, I started to walk on the incline, right? And then I started to come back and walk longer, higher incline. And then today, because I'm able to recover, because I'm not killing myself, I was able to run today, right? Because I kept things simple. And I stopped allowing my life to be guided by panic and pressure. See, some of you are getting out of your pace of your life because of comparison, because you're allowing your life to be guided by panic and pressure. I understand. Some of you might be under pressure with some things in your life. I understand that. But when your life is being guided by panic and pressure, you often put yourself in a situation that you cannot keep up or handle. Right? In order to form habits, we have to be consistent in those habits and learn how to endure in those moments. You know, when I'm at my top running form, you know how I get there? It's because at some point I'm able to outlast most people in those habits because I've proven to myself over time in my body and my mind that I can handle this. And so some of your habits, y'all, you're making them too complex, right? Simplify your process in life. Simplify it, right? You want to eat better? Just simplify it. Say, okay, I'm just going to focus on this. Right now, I tell you what I'm doing. You don't have to do it. Go consult with your doctor, but I'm fasting. Fasting makes it easy for me. I don't have to worry about all these different foods in the morning, blah, blah, blah. I'm just worried about getting my nutrients that I need where I'm deficient at, right? I'm big on fruit. I'm big on all these things. You know what I mean? I'm big on acai bowls, et cetera, et cetera. And these things are helping me. Keeping it simple. How you doing?
Man, it's underwater.
Yes, but yeah, that's what I saw. I've been zigzagging the whole trail, man. I saw that. I was like, gosh.
Me too.
I don't know when that's going to clear up.
Hey, don't tell me.
Yeah. You know, so simplify our process. And I know sometimes we don't want to hear this talk because we want just motivation. And I understand that. And motivation is great. I think it's needed to get you going. But if you want to be sustainable in your greatness and your legendary, you got to have a process that works for you that you can keep up with. You know, there's no pressure. Like, I'm not saying act like tomorrow is always going to come because it's not someday, but also operate tomorrow. Tomorrow's probably going to come for you, right? Stop putting so much pressure and panic to get things done so quickly and enjoy the process, because what happens in the process, you build your mind, right? You build your fortitude, like you build your mind. And then once the mind is built and you give different meanings to your situations, it's hard to break that down, you know, but it starts with your habits. And a lot of us, again, we have too much complexity to our life to actually stick to things. So as I always say, even with your happiness, even with your joy, your peace, make it so easy that you have no choice but to experience it. I'm happy today, not because everything is going right, because I have another chance at life. That's why I'm happy. And guess what? I can be happy every day if that's my meaning towards happiness. It don't matter who like me, who don't like me. It don't matter what happens, what doesn't happen. I'm just happy because I got another chance at life. I simplify it. I have peace in my life. You know why? Because I'm out here on the trails and I'm able to look around and see life. Simple, but effective. So I know when I start talking like this, it's more of a podcast talk, but it's the things that y'all need, man. Create better meanings. Create better meanings in your life. Everything means that it's working for you. That's it. Everything means it's your power. Everything means that it's building you. That's it. And I know some of y'all want to say, but even this, Trent, yep, even that. Use it. Don't let it use you. Don't let it power you. You take the power out of it. That's what I want for y'all. So I know this message wasn't like a super powerful one. I think it was powerful, but I know it wasn't a super focused one. I'm all over the place, but I'm just following my heart on my walk as I wrap up this walk. But I just wanted to give y'all that gift, man. Trust God. Say, God, thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you for the closed doors. Thank you for everything that I thought was bad in my life. Thank you. Because it's all building you. It's all leading you. Don't get frustrated like me today and complain, as you heard the dude say it, right? That it's underwater. Dang, man, my run is messed up. And I was focusing on that. Then it hit me and said, bro, there's another path. And it's higher, elevation. And I took that path, and I think I actually enjoy that path better. And guess what? That path still led me to the same destination. So instead of complaining, find a different way. If it ain't a different way, you can't figure out a different way, pray to a new way shows up. Because God can create ways out of no ways. That's facts. And y'all know that's true. Look at your life. You can find proof in your life. Proof in your life. All those closed doors that worked out for your best life. All those people that quit on you, that worked out for your best life. All those people who gave up on you, that worked out for your best life. That job that didn't find the value in you, worked out for your best life. Trent, you ain't never been through that. Yes, I have. I can name 3 professional football teams, and that's a job, by the way, that told me that I had no value. Yep. They told me that I was not a valuable person on the football field. That's what they told me. They brought me into the office, sent me home. No money. To a 1-year-old child. It closed the greatest door in my life. The only door that I really knew that made me feel worthy. At that time in my life, it closed right in front of my face. And I couldn't do nothing about it. But that closed door led me to my best life. Led me to my best life. Imagine that. But I didn't give up. And it took years for me to realize it. It didn't happen in a year. It didn't happen in 2 years. It took years for me to realize it. It took years of me standing on faith. Years of me climbing blindly. What I mean by that, just climbing and not seeing any peaks. But me trusting in my soul that this was right for my life. This is what I was meant to do. Now, I was listening to something today that told me this, because a lot of people ask me that question too, like, Trent, how do you know what you're meant to do? And this is what I tell people. I think one of the ways you know you're doing what you're meant to do is that you can endure what's probably hard for most people, and it becomes easier to you where most people it's hard. So as a speaker, as doing what I do for most people in this world, for doing this for so long and standing on stage and showing up on here recording podcasts, a lot of people complain. A lot of people say, man, it's too much. But for me, I feel comfortable in it. I don't feel any hardness about it. I don't even feel like this is a job. That's how I know I'm walking in something that's meant for me. You know what I mean? Even though it's tough, it don't feel like that. It almost feels like it's being guided. You know, it's kind of how you know you're in something special. When it just feels like you're being guided. It's like this invisible force. And I'm going to say God, because I believe in God, is guiding your life. It's like, it's even hard for you to explain. It's all working out, baby. Shout out to my coconut water. I implemented that on my run today. I had coconut water, but I never put it in my run. Man, talk about hydration. So yeah, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. I promise you. I'll come on a live that's more focused. I just want to have a conversation with y'all, man. I ain't talked to y'all in a while live. I know most people are at work too, but I just wanted to come on live when my heart felt it. Hopefully this helped. Make sure you check out the podcast. I got my event happening. You go to TrentShelton.com. My event, September 21st. I would love to see you there. Early bird prices are going on right now. So come to Dallas-Fort Worth and celebrate with me. We're going to talk about the legendary life. It's going to be a great experience. You've never been to one of my events. Some of you don't want to miss. Your life is going to change. I promise you it's going to transform. So I want to see you there. Come celebrate my day of life with me. I would love to see you there. Check out the podcast, Trent Shelton Podcast. Make sure you get the book, Protect Your Peace. All the things. But make sure you go live your best life. That's what I want you to do. If you don't do nothing else, go live your best life. Stop looking at me and thinking that a best life is only available for somebody like me. It's available for all of us. Every day you live is your best day. Make today great. Love y'all. It all starts with you. Let's get it. It's rehab time.